Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. It's my Bookmas anniversary. It's my first Bookmas anniversary, as you gathered from the thumbnail. And so I thought I would do the Bookmas anniversary tag today. And before I get into the tag, I would just like to say thank you for all of you for being here. You always make me smile. I'm always surprised when people comment, and it's a joy. And it's very easy to say thank you when I'm looking at my camera and there's no one to hear me except my dogs and my bird. But I truly mean it. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. And you have been a blessing in my life and so unexpected. And you made 2023 a far better year than I could have anticipated. So, now for the tag. First question. How many years on Booktube are you celebrating? 1! Question 2. What has kept you motivated to continue making videos? That is a very good question. And the answer, honestly, is I don't know. Comments and interaction are a large part of it. Finding people who love books as much as I do is a large part of it. And the other part of it is I don't know. Because if you know me in real life, and this has been true for my entire life, I avoid being in pictures. I would much rather be the one taking a picture than being the subject of said picture. I get upset at my husband, at my parents, at my family when I end up in a picture inadvertently. Not upset in the fact that I'm screaming and yelling at them, but that, I get a grumble on my face. And yet, I'm doing Booktube, and I never, ever anticipated being on video, let alone being on video and publishing it to the world. That is so not me. And yet, I enjoy making the content. So it is a constant amazement to me. Question 3. What are your three of your favorite videos you've made in the past year, and why? The first of my favorite videos, these are not in any particular order, would have to be my very first ever Booktube video. And not because it was great or because I am self-absorbed or I, love putting myself out there. It was because I had the courage to do so. And I did it. And it still, to this day, amazes me that I did it. It amazes me that I did it. I'm very proud of myself for doing it and continuing to do it. And now it's part of the everyday life experience that I look forward to and enjoy. And I am so proud of myself for taking the risk. That's probably my third favorite. My second favorite video is, and I will link all of these down in the description box, is the video I did with Dave for our anniversary. I love the... Okay. Pardon the rude interruption from the bird. as I was saying, I love that thumbnail of Dave and I love that video. We look happy together. And it's rare for us to have a picture together. A, because I don't like being in front of the camera. I don't like being in pictures. B, we don't have family that lives near us or, a lot of in-life real friends. So there aren't pictures of us together. And I love that picture of us. I love that video of us. It's very true to who we are. And 2024, we will have been married 20 years. And they have been some of the most challenging years of my life, some of the most rewarding years of my life. And I couldn't have imagined a better partner to go through life with than Dave. And my favorite video, which is tied with number 2, they really are, is my Bookmas video on handcrafted art, needlework, sewing, the importance of cursive handwriting, which I've talked about before in other videos, cooking, all of that. It's all tied together. The skills we're losing in modern society because it's easier to run off to the store and pick something up or to have prepackaged meals delivered to the home or, So that one is near and dear and a fundamental part of who I am. So, question 4. What have you struggled with on Booktube in the past year, and how did you overcome that struggle? I think this one is common to most booktubers, and I don't know that I've overcome it, and that is Booktube fatigue. It is a challenge to put out regular content that is engaging and informative and upbeat and consistent, in addition to real life. And before I joined Booktube and Flosstube, you have an idea, but you don't understand the commitment it takes off screen to put out content. Not just reading the books, but filming, editing, uploading, describing, all of the behind the scenes work is extensive. And if you don't have anyone doing the behind the scenes work with you or for you, that is time you spend not reading or not producing or not spending with your family. So it is a challenge. I think that's one we all struggle with. It's what I will continue to struggle with. It has gotten better, but it's still a challenge. And there are still weeks where I do not want to film. And I don't think that's ever going to change. So, question 5. Choose one moment from the past year on Booktube that you would love to relive. That I would love to relive. I don't know the answer to this, to be honest. I've had so many magical moments. And I think the one I would love to relive is getting my... I think the one I would love to relive is my first subscriber that wasn't my husband. I was so floored. I was positive that no one would want to hear anything I had to say, or it would not be relevant because I'm a reader. I'm not a genre reader. I'm just a reader, and I read all over the spectrum, and I don't fit the algorithm niche. And I tried to force myself into one for a little bit, and it isn't working, or it wasn't working, and I'm out of that. And Yes, the bird is being a bird today. So that first subscriber was just, I was stunned. And then I hit 150 subscribers and I was flabbergasted. I am so amazed every day. It's not like I continually check the subscriber list. It's not like I watch the number constantly, but it's just amazing to me. And that moment was just, it was magical. Question 6. Shout out a huge supporter of your channel. It's not the bird. Okay, I grabbed the bird. Say hello, Pickles. Pickles, hello? Hello? No? Now you're going to be quiet? Okay. Okay. Question 6. Shout out a huge supporter of your channel. There are several. I'm going to shout out to Amanda and Katie. I will link their channels down below. They both have helped my channel growth tremendously in the beginning. And I would not be where I am without their initial shout outs at the beginning of the year. And they are both Christian booktubers. They are both almost exclusively Christian booktubers. And I worry that because I'm expanding away from that, that their readers or their followers will be disappointed, or they won't, it won't be of benefit for them to continue. Nope. Step up. Step up. Step up. Come on. Step. Step. Birds are not obedient. Come on. Step. Come on. But they both helped my channel grow. They're both very sweet people. I watch their videos on a regular basis, and I wouldn't be where I'm at today without either one of their supports. Come here. Step down. Question 7. What is the best book you've read in the past year? I did a lot of Bookmas videos, and so I'm going to, about my favorites of 2023, I'm going to change this question up a little bit. And I'm going to say, what is the book that surprised me the most this year? Yes, it's going to be a book you've seen in the Bookmas videos. It's not going to be a huge surprise for regular viewers, but it's going to be a little different, just reasoning. Pickles the bird. Step. Come on. Step up. Thank you. Step up. That would be In Pieces by Rhonda Ortiz. This is the first book in the Molly Chase series. The third book should publish in 2024. And the reason this book is the book that surprised me the most in 2023, it is the first book published that I read that was published as Catholic fiction. Not generic Christian fiction, not non-denominational fiction, not Jewish fiction, but Catholic fiction. And I didn't know what to expect going in. I came in with 6 months of reading non-denominational Christian fiction. I had growing hesitation about that. Excuse me, I need to rescue a bird. Okay, now that that's handled, I didn't know what to expect. I had hesitations about general non-denominational Christian fiction. I knew nothing about Rhonda as a writer. I knew nothing about her publisher. And there is a lot of general dialogue and angst within Catholicism at the moment. And not knowing where a Catholic author stands in that broad angst of Catholicism is a risky thing, knowing where you stand as a Catholic. But I listened to the voice in my head, and I listened to what God was telling me, and I took a chance. And I am so incredibly blessed that I did. The opening chapter, I will link Rhonda's YouTube channel down below, and she has a couple of excerpts from the books. The opening chapter is gripping and just atmospheric, and you don't want to put it down. And I read quickly, and I read this book slowly. I savored it. And it isn't... If I didn't tell you this book was Catholic historical fiction, if I didn't tell you this book was religious fiction, it's just historical fiction. And the Catholicism is coming in slowly, but it isn't a story about Catholicism. It's a story about what's going on in Boston in 1793. And it's a story about one man, his wife, and their conversion to Catholicism in a time in which that was not a great idea in Boston for success. This book, this series has been a blessing. Rhonda has been a blessing. And honestly, my conversations with Rhonda helped validate the hesitation I was having and the general concerns I was having about non-denominational Christian fiction. And that helped tremendously. And I am forever grateful. Okay, last question. Question 8. Where do you see your channel in a year's time, and what do you hope to have achieved? This time next year, what do I expect? I have absolutely no idea, because I didn't know what to expect for the first year, so I don't know what to expect for year 2. I learned so much about myself as a reader. I learned so much about myself as a Catholic. I learned so much about myself as to just talking about books. This year's I'm trying to do more in-depth discussions about books. There will be books that don't lend themselves to that. I can tell you that right now. There are books that will absolutely lend themselves to that, and I am looking forward to that. I am looking forward to comments and the book club we have formed as a community, and buddy reads, and I'm doing my first buddy reads this year. All of it is just, it's an adventure. And what more can you ask for in life than reading to constantly surprise you? So that is my prompt. I will leave the questions in the description box, a link to the original video, and I so greatly appreciate you all, and you have been a blessing in my life, and I look forward to your comments. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.